What if I told you there's a single sentence that could slice right through all the talk and reveal what's truly in someone's heart? Well, today we're diving into a powerful verse from the Quran that does exactly that. It's this incredible challenge about sincerity that's just as mind-blowing now as it was 1400 years ago.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Is paradise some kind of private club? With a velvet rope and a members-only guest list? It sounds like a strange question, I know, but it is at the absolute heart of the story we're exploring today.
Because, believe it or not, a long, long time ago, a particular group of people made that exact claim. They were convinced they had an exclusive, non-transferable VIP ticket to the hereafter.
Okay, so let's get into this. Their claim was, well, it was as simple as it was audacious. We and we alone are God's chosen people, the only ones destined for paradise.
So to give you some context, this claim came from some of the Jewish tribes living in Medina around the time of the Prophet Muhammad. They were basically saying that because of their lineage, their history, the ultimate reward from God, paradise, was reserved only for them. Nobody else even had a shot.
Now, when a claim that bold gets made, you'd expect some kind of response from on high, right? But the answer that came back wasn't just a simple, nope, you're wrong. Oh no, it was so much smarter than that. It was a challenge, a test of sincerity.
And there it is. The verse is so direct, so powerful. God tells the prophet to say to them, okay, you're so sure paradise is only for you? Fine. Then wish for death if you're really telling the truth. I mean, just let that sink in for a second.
Now, this is super important to understand. This verse isn't about being morbid or anything like that. That phrase, wish for death, is like a litmus test. Think about it. A true believer, someone who is 100% certain their place in paradise is guaranteed, would naturally be excited to meet their Lord and claim the reward. It's about eagerness, not despair.
The logic here is it's flawless. It's a simple argument, really. Step 1, you say the ultimate prize is waiting for you. Step 2, people who know a prize is waiting are eager to get it. Step 3, therefore, if you're being truthful, you should be eager for the one journey that takes you there. It's the perfect trap for hypocrisy.
So, what happens next? The challenge was on the table, the logic was airtight. And their response, or really their lack of one, it revealed everything.
It's a simple question, but the answer is so profound. Did they step up? Did they say, yes, we are ready to meet our Lord, we're certain of our reward?
And this just lays the contradiction bare. On the one hand, you have their massive public claim, paradise is only for us. But on the other hand, you have the divine reality, they would never, ever wish for it. The silence is deafening.
You see, their hesitation, their outright refusal to take up the challenge, it exposed a truth they were maybe even hiding from themselves. Deep down, they knew their actions didn't line up with their words. They knew about their own disobedience, their rejection of prophets, and that knowledge made them terrified of what would come next. So let's zoom out a bit. What does this one historical moment teach all of us about the nature of belief itself? Because this ancient test holds some absolutely timeless lessons for every single person, even today. Let's break these down. First, real faith makes you humble. It doesn't lead to this kind of spiritual arrogance. Second, making big claims about your salvation is totally meaningless if your actions don't back it up. Third, if you're truly sincere, you don't have that deep, nagging fear of meeting God. And finally, the ultimate test is always consistency, when what you do matches what you say. So the real kicker, the huge takeaway here, is that this whole incident completely reframes what faith looks like. It's not about being in some exclusive club. It's about a state of your heart, a heart that is humble and willingly submitted to God.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important point. What's the real currency when it comes to the hereafter? If it's not about the labels we wear or the family we come from, then what is it?
And here it is, plain and simple. Paradise isn't earned by your ancestry, or the label you put on yourself, or the group you belong to. It's earned through submission to God, through a sincere and true faith, and by turning that faith into good, righteous actions. In the end, it's what you do that counts. And that leaves us with one last piercing question to really think about. We all have our labels. We all belong to our groups. But if we were faced with our own sincerity challenge today, What would our actions, not our words, say about what we truly, deeply believe?